If you're ambitious about improving your life and you're in your 20s, this video is going to change your life. You know, the 20s are a very funny time in a human's life because it's both very confusing because you don't really know what to do. You're young, but you're older. You've maybe just finished college and you're supposed to be in this one career for the rest of your life, but you feel subjectively like you have a lot of time. You don't. And so it can lead to two different paths. The first path is that you just go down the white picket fence, 2.5 kids life. And the other path is you become a hippie backpacking through Bali and Thailand. But in this video, I want to share what I think is the best use of your life because it's the best use of your time if you're in your 20s or your 30s. What's up guys? Alex Hine over at Modern Health Monk here, and author of the book Master the Day. Let's jump into point number one. So from my point of view, the best, absolute best use of your 20s is always alignment. Because in my opinion, the best use of your life is alignment. You know, we tend to idolize these people that find their calling young in life. When you think about like Mozart, or you think about these musical prodigies, what makes them so amazing? It's not that they're great at music. It's they're great at music at such a young age. And that's one part, always luck. Usually one of the parents is involved in the grooming process. You see that a lot with athletes as well. But in my opinion, the most useful path to go down is always alignment. It is not, oh, I'm in my 20s, I should become a backpacking hippie in Thailand. And it's not, I should become a hedge fund or startup bro and make bank and then do whatever I want in my 30s. You can do whatever you want. But in my opinion, alignment with the life you want to live is what will make you the happiest and most fulfilled. Finding the work you want to do is really probably the most important thing because work is going to be the foundation of your life. You know, you spend more time at work than you will with your spouse or significant other. You'll spend more time working than you will with your children. You'll spend more time working than pretty much doing anything else in your life. So when you hate 9 hours a day of your life, that is a very, very difficult kind of life to live. My 20s, I spent working these millions of odd jobs because I couldn't find work I actually wanted to do. I would show up, work really hard, never get a promotion because it was all corporate, and then decide to get the hell out of there. Go backpack for 2 months, and then go back to square one. From my point of view, in my 20s, number one thing I focused on was what I call finding my Dharma. Dharma is a term that comes from the Indian traditions, and it really just means almost like your divine work. And regardless of whatever your beliefs are about reality and life, I personally believe people have callings. And there are traditional callings in life, right? There's the priesthood, the military, medicine. These are traditional callings through human history. But for me, I always wanted to find the work that I felt like I could be the best in the world at, and I loved enough that I wanted to do the work to be the best in the world at. But it wasn't until I was reading Mastery by Robert Greene where I finally got that, like, those full body chills. Those full body chills that were basically like, this work, which is medicine, but I'm a doctor of acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine, after I saw a doctor who fixed all the health issues my normal doctor couldn't. It was thinking about this concept of like Dharma, which is like something you feel called to do. When I got the idea and I went to visit the schools, I just got these chills that never went away. I got this feeling of increased excitement and like a feeling of falling in love. And I'd never ever experienced that in my life with work. And I can tell you confidently, 10 years later, almost, I'm in this profession, including 4 years in my medical program, I am more excited about it than I've ever been. That to me is alignment with passion and alignment with Dharma. And the reason why you should use your 20s to find that thing, even though it doesn't have to be the thing you do forever, is because work will occupy more of your life than anything. The second thing I want you to think about here is basically how you make your life count. And this is just one dude's opinion, but you make your life count internally by fighting the status quo, and externally by focusing on getting those specific skills you want to improve. When we talk about fighting the status quo, everyone around you is trying to convince you to do something that you may or may not want to do. Your parents may convince you to go to medical school because they're stereotypical immigrants. They want security for future generations and for you because they struggled. Your mom may want you to be an accountant just like her, or to have 3 kids by the time you're 30 just like her because she wants grandkids. Everywhere outside of you, there's a tremendous pressure to conform and to do things that you may or may not want to do. And one dude's opinion, this guy, is that you should fight that till the day you freaking die. You should do what you want to do. When you look at the stories and the archives of all these incredible people through the world, Steve Jobs, great inventors, great poets, great writers, They did what they felt called to do. Don't let the pressure of other people drown out the voice that you have about the life you want to live. And the reason that's so important is because if you listen to everybody else, you're going to betray yourself. And at some point, whether it's 25 or 30, 40 or 50, you're gonna wake up and you realize you're not living the life you wanted to live because you listen to everybody else besides yourself. The second thing is to focus on getting specific on the skills you want to improve. As you get older, one thing you learn pretty quickly is that people get paid for skills. This is why everyone constantly complains about 20-somethings who expect to get a 6-figure job out of school when they actually can't even do anything. Can you produce and edit and film an amazing YouTube video? Can you figure out how to get $100,000 in business from YouTube? Can you write and publish a book? These are all skill sets. And ultimately what you learn as you get older is that skills are what pay the bills. The more you focus on specific skills that you're good at, the more you're likely to get paid well for those skills. And this is really, really important because what determines how much you get paid is how hard those skills are to develop. Social media managers don't get paid as much as brain surgeons because brain surgeons literally spent 15 bloody years learning how to do very high risk surgeries. So if you can get valuable skills, you can get paid whatever you want basically. So the more you fight the status quo, you're living in inner alignment with the life you want to live. And the more you can focus on skills that are specific, the more you're likely to get paid for things that you really enjoy. So these two things are the internal and the external I highly recommend focusing on to make your 20s count. Now, one of the hardest parts about your 20s and 30s is the feeling of being lost. I've put together a brand new free guide all about how to get unlost and figure out what the hell to do with your life. It's the link right below this video. It's a brand new guide, something that goes a lot into the strategies that I've used to continually reinvent myself and really to figure out what I want to be doing with my life. So check it out. It's the link right below this video, guys. Now, I want to leave you with one final thought here. I've coached hundreds of 20-somethings and in group settings and one-to-one, and I think there's a few ways people go wrong. Number one, when you're young, you don't have confidence. It takes time to develop confidence in life. If you're terrible at baseball, you shouldn't be confident. If you're terrible in your career, you shouldn't be confident. If you make 40 grand, you shouldn't be confident you can make 300 grand. You should take time to develop the skills to actually be able to do the thing, and then you will have the power and the confidence. And I think when you're young, you don't question authority because you're intimidated by authority. If you're the lowest dude on the totem pole in an organization, of course you're gonna feel nervous, and that's natural. But you have to learn to question authority because a lot of those people, they've just been playing the same BS game everyone else has for decades. It'll work fine for a while, but then when you wake up at 40 and you're miserable because you're not living the life you wanna live, that's going to be a problem. And so you need to develop that like contrarianism. You need to develop that antagonism towards the status quo. Don't assume because people are older, they have life figured out. A lot of the people changing the world are young because they're brave, they're gutsy, they're willing to take the chance, and they're willing to take the risk. It's fine to be intimidated by authority or older people, but you don't want to be there forever because you're going to be pressured into a life you don't want to live. You know, I had someone say to me, good luck with your corny blogging career. Guess who's still in a corporate job? And guess who's here with 2 successful businesses from YouTube? This guy. So fight the status quo always. Only you know what it is you want from your life. Don't forget that. Don't let someone talk you out of doing what you really, really want to do in life. That is the thing that every person who's changed the world, that is their North Star. So don't forget it. All right, guys, that's what I have for you here today. Leave a comment below with what you took away from this video. Download that free guide on how to get unlost and figure out what the hell to do with your life. One of my favorite guides I've put together. And I will see you in this related video here. If you're curious about what the hell to do with your life, make sure you watch this.